everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about some grown-up stuff. So let's start off with welcome. I'm Tired Mama, or Sam, whichever you prefer. I am still battling a cold though, so if I have to cough, please excuse me. I want to talk about a topic today that can be hard. The idea of moving on from relationships, specifically romantic relationships. So I want to give a little bit of a backstory. I was approached this week by someone that I've known for a long time, and she's really struggling at letting go of her divorce. She's still feeling some pain and some hurt, and so she's at a point now where she's very jealous because her ex-husband has moved on, and she keeps telling everyone, oh, I'm over it, I'm over it. And we had a long talk this week, and I want to share this advice with any of you that may be dealing with something similar. And I'll start by telling you my first marriage story. In 2008, I met my first husband. We met in February, got engaged in November, got married in April, got divorced in June. It was a very, very short marriage. I will tell you that at the time, I did not know the Lord. I was not practicing my Christian faith. I was not a good person. I did a lot of things wrong. I admit to those things that I did wrong. And I have worked on growing myself as an individual ever since. Okay? Now, when I say it was a bad marriage, it was toxic. Toxic. Okay? And when we finally split up, it was a situation, I literally walked away from everything that I own. Everything. I just walked away from it. I'm trying to fix my camera. Okay. I put on a backpack with my clothes in it, and I carried my dog, who was a baby at the time, and I walked to my mom's house. I was just over it, and I was done. Now, for me to deal with my divorce, what I did was I actually moved towns, and I was in a bad place in my life because the friends that I had were toxic. The situations I put myself in were toxic. Like, I wasn't being a responsible person. And I knew that I could not fix myself until I got into a better position with the people I was around. So, I actually moved towns. And because I had left him with my vehicle, like literally left him with everything, I moved to another town, got a new job, literally took a bus or walked to work for almost 2 years. And then I met my current husband. And it took a long time for me to truly heal from my first marriage. And my advice for you is about when you realize you're really over someone. Telling people that you're over someone, or telling people that you've moved on, is not just saying you're over it. You know, I'll use an example of Trisha Paytas and David Nash. Was that his name? I don't follow her a whole lot. But there's still stuff coming out. Like, she's still talking about it. But she keeps saying, I'm over it. That's not over it, baby. That's not over it. That's not over it. How do you know you're really over somebody? It's actually very simple. I can tell you that I am over my first husband. And I know that because even though things were horrible with us, and I probably have every right to still be upset with him, I'm not. I could run into him in public and be perfectly fine. I don't feel I need to hide from him. I've run into him with my current husband. I've run into him with my sister. My entire family has gone out to dinner because there's only a few places to eat where we live. And we run into him, or him and his new girlfriend or wife, I don't know what she is because we don't talk, or I run into his family, and it's It's nothing. Because I don't harbor any of those feelings against him. I don't harbor anything against him for what happened. At this point, I hope that he finds love. I hope that he finds happiness. I hope that he finds the Lord. Like, that's my hope for him. That's how I know I'm over him. Now, when it comes to my friend, she is still dealing with, like, some custody issues. And I've explained this to her. Like, what does harboring this pain help with? She goes, well, it just makes me madder. So sometimes when you're going through this, you have to step out of the situation. Now, granted, it's been 11 years or 10 years since my divorce, but you still have to, like, step out of the situation. Even then, I very quickly came to a realization, like, I didn't want anything bad to happen for him. He actually got cancer 2 or 3 years after me and my current husband got married, and we, like, took him stuff, we took him dinner, like, we did what we could as believers to make sure that he still felt loved and he still felt reached out to, and we didn't feel anything wrong. My husband was completely comfortable with that. And so I'm going to come back to this idea, like, you have to step out of the situation. And sometimes people around you are going to keep egging on the situation because the people around you aren't involved except through you, and they like to see drama. Okay? They like to see drama. Everybody does. But don't let your situation become a soap opera for someone else. Example, Trisha Paytas has drugged this thing out, and she has, like, a whole soap opera and now a book out about this breakup. Look, when it comes down to it, you come and you find out you're not compatible with someone. Arguing about it and arguing about the situations that came up in that relationship, all it does is create drama. And anytime you're going through a life change, drama is not what you need. And I'm not giving this advice as, like, a psychologist or psychiatrist or counselor. I'm giving this advice as someone who has been there. Okay? I've been there. And let me go further into my history. My current husband and I dated in 2008. I'm sorry, 2007. We dated probably almost the whole year. We broke up like 11 weeks before I met my first husband. You could call him the rebound. And that's not the way to get over someone either. It's obvious I never got over my first husband, my husband the first time, because here we are, right? 9 years later, married. Married for 9 years. But I hope that you see what I'm saying. Like, saying you're over someone doesn't mean you're over it. You're over someone when you don't care anymore. Their daily goings-on no longer affects you. Perfect example of that, this woman does have 3 children with this guy. But he has stepped away from his kids. He has put his priority into drugs, another girlfriend, or a couple girlfriends, I think. And so for her, she's very much still living this situation because her kids still ask for their dad. So my response to her was, when you remove the frustration from yourself and realize that you can't make someone else change and that you can't help what's already happened, you have to focus on the good in your life and focus on your children in order to be able to move forward. When you don't, when you focus on the bad, it's very easy to fall into a victim mentality where everything's going to go wrong for you. There's a phrase here in the South called put your big girl panties on and keep moving. And that's really a lot of it what it comes down to. You have to realize that you're just going to deal with it. And in our situation, like with one of our kids, the mom is no longer involved, and we have just trucked on, and we have just pushed forward and dealt with it And when conversations happen, we are very honest and open, but we don't degrade other parents. We say, you know, they're struggling with demons, and we move on with it. Now, obviously, I can't tell you how to deal with your kids. I can't tell you how to deal with tough situations. I'm more than happy to try and talk to you. If you want to message me if you're having a hard time with something. I am up all hours of the night now because I am having insomnia. But I would love to talk to you if you're going through something like this. Beyond that, you know, my advice is when you're over someone, like knowing you're truly over someone. And you only truly know that you're over someone when you can look at them and say, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that you're happy. I hope that you're loved. And, you know, that's really the end of it. But telling people you're over them up until that point, it's just a lie because you're not. And I'm not trying to be mean with that. It's just the truth, guys. It's just the truth. Maybe today was rambling. Maybe it helped you out some. I'm not sure. It was something that was on my heart and a message I felt I needed to share. Realize 3 things in life. Number 1, you are worth the time that it takes to better your life. Number 2, you are worth the energy. Your life is worth the energy that it takes to better your life. And number 3, you are loved. Until next time, guys. Bye.